What's the difference between Emuna and Bטחון? Emuna means believing, Bטחון means trusting. If somebody believes in Hashem fully, doesn't need trust Hashem, then why were we all told we need to have Emuna and Bטחון? So to give a basic understanding, not to go into too much detail, Emuna means believing and Bטחון means trusting, so it kind of looks like Emuna is a little lower than Bטחון. Means if you really have fully faith in Hashem, then you have Bטחון. To give an example how a person can believe someone and not trust him, when it comes to loaning money, nobody is loaning money because I believe the person. You loan money because you trust the person. That means trust is stronger than belief. To give an example of a person that you could believe but not trust, let's say a person, every time he said something, the guy did research, and he would always say, this is as far as I know. So basically, you know the guy that he does not talk nonsense and say it's a fact. So you could believe him, but doesn't necessarily mean you could trust him with money. Could be he's not arranged. He's like all over the place, and you can't really trust him with money because he will pay you back, in 5 years, in 10 years, or just forget. He's not stable. So you could see there exists such a thing as believing someone, but you can't get to the level of trusting him. So the same thing could be by a person that he believes in God, but he doesn't trust God. And to give you a simple example, how you could find a person that believes and doesn't trust, there exist people who could say, let's say a person goes through a trauma in his life. Something bad happened to him. And he says, I think, Chaz v'sholom, that God made a mistake, me with somebody else. He should have given this trauma to that person. That means, you're not allowed to say that, but some people do say that, and they could feel it sometimes, as if they understand why God gives hard times to people. But the idea of it is, shows that the person believes actually, because if that person wouldn't have believed in God, he wouldn't have said God even made a mistake, because it's just a coincidence. So the fact when a person uses that term means he believes that there's a higher power, I just don't trust him. Because everybody believes, the Rambam writes that everybody believes in something. The question is what? So if a person doesn't focus on the belief of God, he will focus on believing something else. You're never going to find a person saying, I don't believe in nothing. There doesn't exist such a thing. Everybody believes in something. The question is what? And even the atheists who try to claim they don't believe in God, not only they believe in God, they probably believe more in God than a typical believer. And they're trying to run away from their belief. So there's a joke. There was a guy standing in the line in the Israeli embassy, and behind him there was a guy, and he told him, you know, I come from a kibbutz, and in our kibbutz we used to have a very strong tradition that Pesach we eating chametz and Yom Kippur we made a meal. Two strong traditions, but the young generation doesn't seem to keep it. What do you see from that? That those people who call themselves atheists and try to claim that they don't believe in nothing actually believed more than the typical person, because they were so busy to go against. Why are you busy to go against? Against what? Apparently you believe. They were just trying to run away from their belief. And definitely those people don't have trust in God, because they believe in God, but they don't have trust. So now, to better understand, but Emunah actually means a little bit more than just believe. Emunah means faithful, to be loyal to God. The word Emunah comes from is related to the word Naaman, which means faithful, loyal to God. Because everybody believes, and how can a person believe and not be faithful? It's like, because you believe in God, and now what are you doing about it? So let's say, I give you an example. There's a guy, he's into the exploring of mine exploring. He goes around looking for oil, precious metals, gold, all that kind of things. And he tells you that he and his company, whatever, his team, just found a gold mine in Utah. So, if you go further, means it goes in from one air and it flies out the next air, or maybe you will just repeat it to a friend that somebody told you they found gold in Utah, then what do you do with the information? But if you actually believe that person, there's actually a slightest doubt that this is possibly true. As far as I know, most people will go, look, where can I invest? Maybe I could buy into this company. Because if they actually found gold, it might be that I could get in return more money every year than the actual amount they're investing in. That means if you believe, what do you do with information? So Emunah means being faithful to Hashem. Not just believe and not do nothing with it. That is the definition of Emunah. Then if that's the definition of Emunah, what is the definition of B'tachon? If I'm faithful to God, of course, I trust Him. As B'tachon means that I'm faithful that God didn't forsake us. And everything He does is for our good. Chazon Ish used to say, B'tachon means that we rely that everything Hashem does is for our good. People have a big mistake. They say, have B'tachon and it will all be good. Like as if you have B'tachon and everything will go in your way. It's a mistake. It's have B'tachon and you will see that everything God does is for your good. And of course, to get to that level takes a lot of work. So basically, to understand the concept, the difference between Emunah and B'tachon, Emunah is that you are loyal to God. B'tachon is that you believe God didn't forsake us. He didn't forsake you, and He's with you all the time. I hope you all understand, and hopefully I will talk more about Emunah and more about B'tachon, the levels, and also about Das, Yedias Hashem, knowing God, what's the meaning of it, in coming lectures. I hope you all understand. If you want to ask something, feel free. Have a wonderful day.